Hi, this is my video journal for Intimate Apparel. For question one, I thought the play did an amazing job portraying American life in the early 1900s, and it was very revealing for me to see the intense prejudice and sexism portrayed in such a way. I felt sad at times reading the play because of how closed-minded and rigid society was at the time, um, and people had their opportunities tremendously limited based on their class status, race and gender, and religion, and several other things. And it is very sad that people have to go through this in real life. Um, Two values that I saw in the play were honesty and struggle. Honesty is important in the case between George and Esther. As we find out toward the end of the play, George has been quite dishonest with Esther for a lot of the play, especially when he is cheating on her with one of her best friends. And then struggle is shown in the way that a lot of characters in the story are going through a struggle, basically all of them, in some ways based on traits that are almost totally out of their control. And then for question three, the word I chose was bohemian, which refers to a socially unconventional person. Mrs. Van Buren mentions this at one part of the play where she mentions that she can live as a bohemian and live alone without a husband. And this would be quite unconventional at the time. And I think she wants to do this because from how she describes him, her husband is quite sexist and abusive. And then for the issue of diversity, I believe this story was to reinvent the African American experience. Unlike minstrel shows or Uncle Tom, Esther was portrayed as a real woman with goals and ambitions in life. And I think Lynn Nottage was trying to convey humanity and empathy for the African American experience by portraying it in a realistic way. And also relating it to struggles of other groups in America at the time as well, like Jews and women, for example. Do stereotypes for African Americans and other groups still exist today? Yes, for sure. There's a lot of reasons why they get perpetuated. I think sometimes they're used in the media either to sell stories and also just to group people in general because it's easier to assume people in monoliths rather than realizing that there's a lot of variance no matter how you try to group people together. I think bias can also be shown in policing, as this is a big issue today. To overcome stereotypes, I think that just involves thinking about things logically and having empathy toward people who are different than you, and really putting yourself in their point of view and realizing that these stereotypes aren't really based on anything factual. And then two questions about the play. Why do you think at the end of the play the feelings between Esther and Mark were not pursued any further, and why do you think the author portrayed George the way she did?